No.
Matthew's here with the business, that's why he's really here. European leaders heading to Berlin for a summit on youth unemployment this Wednesday.
Yes, a meeting called by the German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Some people saying it's more of a PR stunt by her ahead of elections later this year. But with youth unemployment across the EU now at 1 in 4, many of these leaders very keen to show that they are doing something about the problem. And Germany itself, in fact, has the lowest youth unemployment rate in the EU. It's even encouraging other young Europeans to travel there to take up unfilled positions. Well, Catherine Viette has more.
They're being dubbed Generation Jobless. More than 5.6 million under 25s are out of work in the European Union, and they're increasingly looking beyond borders for jobs. Only Germany has managed to buck the trend with just 7.5% of its youth unemployed. Facing a drought of skilled workers for the future, the country currently has 33,000 unfilled apprenticeships. It started training programs with free language lessons and pay of €818 a month for eligible candidates. Many out-of-work Spaniards have accepted the offer.
We have a lot of jobs we need to fill. Electricians, roofers, people to work in the restaurant industry. Because we're in a region that's growing and we wish a warm welcome to the Spanish youth.
First step to learn the language, which doesn't always come easily. This generation of Spaniards say they're determined to do what it takes to find a job.
In Germany, there are opportunities. In Spain, there aren't any.
With an unemployment rate of nearly 57%, Spain is second only to Greece, which has 62.5% of under 25s out of work. Like their grandparents in the 1960s, these young Spaniards are choosing to leave Spain.
Well, let's get some of the day's company news now. More job losses here in France. Electrical retailer Darty is cutting 500 jobs. That's according to one of the unions representing workers there. The company confirmed the plan to make cuts, but refused to comment on those numbers. Darty's already pulled out of the UK, Italy and Spain as it tries to cut costs.
3 former executives at Japan's Olympus have been given suspended jail sentences. Now, they were found guilty of a massive accounting fraud at the camera and medical equipment maker. Former chief executive Michael Woodford blew the whistle on the scandal, you'll remember, of course, in late 2011.
And a former FBI chief will investigate possible abuse of a compensation scheme for victims of the 2010 BP Gulf oil spill. Now, that follows allegations of inflated claims and kickbacks. BP welcomed the appointment. It's put aside $7.8 billion for the fund, but's concerned the final figure will be much higher.
Up, down, somewhere in the middle. What about the markets today?
Yeah, markets mostly down anyway. In Asia, let's take a look. Markets making losses. Some data out of China on the services sector worrying investors there, as well as that tension in Egypt. And given the ongoing crisis in Egypt, we might expect investors to be taking fright. But in fact, the main index of stocks was up almost 5% on Tuesday. One reason could be that investors have not been fans of the current administration, and they're hopeful a change will provide a better and perhaps more certain environment. But just a word on the oil price, Stuart. That's reacting badly to those Egypt tensions. The price of light crude oil up at $101 in Asian trading, and that's the first time it's been over $100 since last September.
OK, now finally we've got a transport strike for you. It's in San Francisco. It's looking set to continue into a third day. I can imagine that's a bit chaotic.
Yeah, a bit chaotic. This is the city's rail system. It's known as BART. As you say, it's already had 2 days of strike, and late night discussions on Tuesday resulted in a deal with the smallest of the unions, but the 2 larger ones seem like they're willing to continue. Let's take a listen to both sides of the dispute.
We're extremely frustrated. We don't want to have this disruption going on. BART has left us no choice.
We think the strike was unnecessary. We want to get our employees back. We want to get the trains going. We want to come up with a contract that's fair for our workers, but yet lets us make the investments to keep the system safe for everybody into the future.
BART out. That kind of sums it up, doesn't it?
That's right.
Transport strike there in San Francisco. Thank you, sir, Matthew. Back more with him, of course, in an hour's time here on France 24. Now we're going to go to web news for you now.